Over the past couple days now, I have been seeing these TikToks come up on my page from multiple students who recorded their principal having an awful reaction to students protesting bullying after one of their fellow students took their own life. And it took some digging, but I finally found the actual story. So I'm going to first talk about what happened, and then I'm going to talk about the viral incident that later occurred with the principal. And obviously this video will involve some sensitive topics, so you certainly can click away if you would rather not watch this. So there was a 15-year-old boy named Bryce Butcher who was a sophomore at Logan High School in the town of Logan, Ohio. His mother would recall a situation that occurred about 2 weeks ago from now that she says changed Bryce. She says that Bryce said that he was jumped at school and he ended up having a goose egg type of bruise on his forehead that resulted from this. So obviously it sounds like Bryce was getting bullied at school. And fast forward to about a week ago from now, on Monday, May 1st, Bryce would end up going missing, as was reported by the local news. And I'm not sure exactly the details of how they ended up finding him or where he was, but shortly later he was found, and it turns out that he had taken his own life. So that was the unfortunate, awful situation that led up to the viral video, which I'll discuss next. And before we go on, I just want to say, and I know this is kind of a typical thing, but it's so true, if you're ever feeling down mentally, please talk to someone. You owe it to yourself and those who love you to do that. I'm going to throw some helpful links in the description of this video in case someone who is watching this does feel that way. Okay, so now we got the pretty heavy, not so fun stuff out of the way first, the stuff that preceded this video. So now let's talk about these videos that have kind of gone viral on TikTok. So it looks like this was yesterday, Friday, May 5th, that this happened. A bunch of students at Logan High School organized a sort of protest. It looks like they're all in like the main lobby of the school, probably during some period of class. So this protest was not only in respect of Bryce, but also to support mental health awareness and even to call out the school's bullying problem. And let's just face it, every school in America does have a bullying problem. So I want you to think about this for a second. You know, if you were the principal at this school, what would you do? I know that I would do probably the most obvious thing, and you could even say arguably this is something that doesn't even take a lot of effort. I would just support these students. I would say, yeah, absolutely. This school obviously has a bullying problem since a student just took his own life. So of course we need to, at the very least, bring awareness to the issues that are going on. Because at the end of the day, school already sucks as it is. So if there's an environment where a student is choosing to end his own life, that is something that at the very least needs to be addressed. And you need to take it seriously, right? Well, this principal would disagree. So there are multiple videos from students that show this principal coming out to address the crowd during this protest for a couple minutes. And I guess there's not like one specific thing that she says that like really stands out, but it's just this whole condescending, arrogant tone about her. Like as if to say, you kids are so stupid, I've got so much to do that I'd rather be doing than addressing you idiots. The principal basically says like, hey, I want you to know that, you know, we hear you and we see you, but there's also things that are going on in private that you don't know about since this is a private situation. But I'm not really doing it justice. She says it in such a like a teacher principal sort of tone, like she's talking down to them, you know, like, hey, we hear you, okay, but this is also going on, like that tone. It's so awful. She even says at one point, she literally says, if you want to be helpful, you can give us these ideas that we can do. Like seriously, she literally says, if you want to be helpful, basically saying, hey, you're not being helpful right now, you're just being useless. And she gets some pretty bad backlash during the video. Some students are disagreeing with what she's saying and basically saying that, you know, hey, we've already come to you to report a bullying problem. We've made you aware of this and you haven't really done anything. And she kind of just shrugs it away. Kind of towards the end of the video, she basically tells the kids to write down their ideas for anti-bullying tactics, I guess. And she says you can write it down on a note card and turn it in. And she says, you can give us your ideas and then go ahead and go. Basically saying, hey, write down your stupid ideas on this note card and then go back to class. And that really set the students off. So they're like, no, we're not leaving. The whole thing just came off as condescending, rude, and arrogant, which is such an awful way to address a tragic, fatal death of a student. That's why at the end of the day, I have to call her a Karen, right? Because her reaction to this just screams Karen. She even kind of has the Karen haircut too. And so yeah, this is why these multiple videos from different students have kind of gone viral. So listen, I don't have have the answers to end bullying once and for all, I really don't. But being a condescending jerk to kids trying to change bullying culture is not gonna help. It's probably not gonna help your career either. Yeah, I've said it before, I'm not huge into cancel culture, but I could easily see this principal having to step down in maybe a week or two because of this. I don't know, man, what an emotionless reaction to a tragic, very real story. My heart goes out to Bryce and any students trying to fight bullying. I think bullying is a great thing to fight against. Ironically, the Karen principal here was kind of being a bully herself to the students, and it's possible that might just cost her her job.